Health World Hospital, Durgapur, West Bengal. Can I invite Dr. Nurul to start his presentation?
So good afternoon. Good afternoon, respected chairperson, moderators, and my dear colleagues on the other side of the screen. We use the balloons in the cath lab when we are taking care of the children or adult patients with different cardiac lesions. And these balloons, if we look into the history, it is being used from early 80s. I'm not going into the details. Different types of balloons are available inside the cath lab, and sometimes it's also lesion specific, the type of the problem we are handling. But for a beginners, I think we need a better sound knowledge when we are planning for routine ballooning procedure regarding the balloons and the procedure also. So I'll try to focus my presentation in the next couple of minutes within these two basic things. And before taking any child or patient inside the cath lab, it is always better, good practice to have a check in the cath lab whether all the hardards are available or not. Otherwise, it will be a big trouble, especially when you are taking care or doing a procedure in small babies. So balloons we use normally for the routine valve stenosis blockage or some stenosis in the big vessels. Or so these balloons are normally called static balloon, and its shape is cylindrical. The special characteristic of the balloons that it has some predetermined the diameter, which comes only after full inflation as per recommended the highest pressure. And this pressure result creates the high wall tension, and which cause split or tear in the intima or the valve commissure and opens the blockage. And there are some other types of balloons also which are not frequently used, but those are for all theoretical we should know before going into the lab also. The ideal angioplasty balloon, the characteristic, it should be made of non-compliant material. Otherwise, the dilatation of the balloon will not be uniform and can cause injury as the surrounding structures. Low and smooth profile, and its surface is very smooth. The profile things is very important. It means the diameter of the balloon had completely deflated, so it can be accommodated in the smaller size sheath, groin sheath. And the shape memory is very important. Once the balloon is fully inflated, and after that in the deflation, it should come to the original folds with balloons, so that you don't require to hand folding. It should be puncture proof, and inflation deflation procedure when done, it should be very rapid, so there should not be any discomfort. And there is a catheter, balloon is placed over the catheter, balloon catheter. There is a hole through which the wire should pass, and the appropriate size wire is important for specific type of balloon. There is an end of the balloon that is a smooth and very short with taper on the catheter, and that should be very short. And the distance in between the tip of the catheter and end of the balloon should be very short. Why? Because once it's fully inflated, this short, the end of this catheter between the balloon and the tip, it will be very hard and can cause injury. The length of the balloon also varies. It depends upon the type of the balloon and the company which are producing the balloons. Other types of balloons like high pressure balloons, it has a high profile and it needs the bigger sheath, and the high pressure balloons are made of thicker material, tougher material, can cause injury over inflation. Like cutting balloons, they have a specific micro blade on the surface at certain gap distance, 120-degree angle, and those are used for very tight lesions. And the other types of balloon like septostomy balloon will come in the next few slides. Balloon inflation is one of the important things which we should know. It can be done by regular syringes, and also there is some specific devices. But the problem with the syringes, it is smaller syringes can create a higher atmosphere pressure, but the larger one, when the balloon size is bigger, then it's very difficult to generate the expected pressure for angioplasty. And also during the deflation, the smaller syringes will create less negative pressure. So you will face the problem during deflation, and you can compromise the hemodynamics condition of the patient on table. So ideally, it can be done when doing the procedure by use of indeflators, which we all people are very accustomed, especially who are working in the coronary lab. Before going for a balloon dilation using a balloon, we should have good practice. Like you should study the images of the lesion on echo. You make a sound plan, you go for the vascular access and decide which sheath should be appropriate without compromising the injury the vessel, and also you can take the balloon comfortably. And the guide wire is very important, over which the balloon is tracked, because it has two ends. One is floppy and the stiff part. So floppy part should be adequate to be inside, and the position should be important, because if the floppy part is not too much deep inside the branch or any distal part of the stenosis portion, so the balloon will not be stable during the inflation. And you have to check always the burst pressure, because it can, if you limit the burst pressure, so it can cause the rupture of the balloons. So all this information very easily available from the packaging system outside is printed. So balloon preparation, for inflation, we need to contrast, diluted contrast. That is one of the very tricky point. If it is diluted at a lower dilution, so a lower dilution, that can give create a problem during inflation and deflation. In the images, you can easily see the three syringes at three different dilution, 1:3, 5, and 1:8. You can see that there is not much difference between the visibility between these three syringes, but 1:3 dilution can really cause the rapid inflation and deflation. So it is very important part during use of the balloon or inflation. And there is a septostomy balloon, which is used specially for congenital cyanotic heart disease transposition. Intact septum, it's a life-saving procedure. Sometimes need to transfer the baby to proper center for specific treatment. This is a Pneumed Z5 balloon. Two sizes are available, 9.5 and 13.5 millimeter, with a balloon capacity of 1 ml and 2 ml. So if you inflate with 2 cc of contrast, diluted contrast, it can give the maximum 13.5 millimeter. And this bigger size balloon used for the larger size babies, and the recommended guide wire is 0.21 inches. During the balloon inflation, we should keep in mind some problem can arise, like deflation or inflation difficulties. But the most important is the balloon rupture. Once you cross the burst pressure, the balloon can be ruptured inside, and there will be always giveaway sensation, feelings by the operator, and there is a washout of the dye from the balloon area. So the rupture can happen. There's a longitudinal rupture, which is not much problematic. If you are careful, you can take the balloon completely out. It can be circumferential, which is little bit of tricky or can create a problem, because the distal part of the ruptured balloon can evert like an umbrella, and it can be entrapped within the structures, intracardiac structures of the vessel. So be very careful. And if the balloon is kept for a long time inside the packet, so it can cause the fracture of the shaft. It happens very rarely, so you have to be very careful. And balloon puncture, once you are taking a smaller balloon and you are putting the hard end, stiff end of the guide wire, so by mistake the balloon over the catheter, shaft catheter, can get punctured. And the balloon length is very important, because once you are doing the procedure, relieving the blockage, the longer length is can cause the problem to the surrounding structures, like when you ballooning the pulmonary stenosis. If the length is very big, so it can be cause damage to the tricuspid valve, leaflet, cauda, or distal. It can cause injury to some of the branch pulmonary arteries. Once complete occlusion, it can cause the bradycardia and desaturation, because complete occlusion of the tract, it can cause the less cardiac output and low saturation. So the good things before doing or using the balloons in the lab, always check the hardware. You decide what type of balloon you want to use and size of the balloon. After crossing the balloon, you need a good wire placement with the floppy end to inside, so that you get better stable stiff end of the wire, stiff part of the wire. During introduction of the balloon through the sheath, you have to be very careful. Balloon inflation should be rapid, and you have to deflate completely, so that a partial deflated balloon can cause injury to the structures. During the balloon withdrawal, there should be always a gentle twisting movement, because it will help to take the balloon out very smoothly. And always check the balloon outside whether it is intact or not. During the balloon angioplasty for pulmonary stenosis, the balloon size should be approximately 120 to 130% of the pulmonary annulus for good results, and the length should be appropriate for the size of the baby, so that there is no injury to the surrounding structures. For aortic valvoplasty, balloon aortic valvoplasty, also you have to assess the length, assess the annulus size, and it should not cross 90% of the annulus, because there may be injury to the aortic valve leaflets and there may be aortic regurgitation, which is very dangerous for the child. So these are the points we should keep in mind. During the coarctoplasty, we need to check, we need to assess the size diameter of the distal transverse arch, the diameter of the aorta at the diaphragm level, because the balloon size should not cross beyond that. Otherwise, there may be injury to the intimal wall, flap formation, and in future there may be aneurysmal formation. So these things can be avoided by taking proper angiogram and proper size balloon. Balloon atrial septostomy, as we have discussed, this is very good, important, and life-saving procedure for this kind of babies. And the septostomy balloon, when you are inflating inside the chamber, if you have any doubt, you should check on echocardiogram whether this is within the proper left atrium, whether it is not in the pulmonary vein, can get injured, and it should not be within the mitral inflow. It should not enter into the left ventricle. That can create problem. So these things very important. And whenever there is any compromise or problem or hemodynamic instability, stop the procedure. Always take the help of the echocardiography, and if assess, then you can go ahead.
Dr. Nurul, yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. So he has very clearly shown all the various types of balloons, the spindle balloons, the round balloons, and what are the various indications.